which girl wants to feel like during sex she peed on the bed?
But she know it's be now. She don't know it's
No, many of them don't know. Even the guys that they don't know. A lot of people don't know what squirting is.
Welcome to Life IG Radio, more than a podcast. Today, I'm talking to... Okay, the best way to introduce all of them is I was away from the scene, but the plans never left. Sharon, Yom, and Vals, you see the fans never left. So today, there is Sharon and Yom here on the show. And I'm just laughing because I feel like, no. But most of you are going to see Yom in his true elements. True elements. And Sharon. But all of you already know what the element is if you are following our social media. But today's conversation is about penetration.
Ooh.
So yes, penetration. This is a play on a word, but then I'll let you find out what that play on the word penetration is whilst we have the conversation. But yes, today we're talking about what it means to penetrate. And let's kickstart with Sharon. Because it's expected.
Because see, this my new tag is expected. Hi, my name is Sharon Anene. I'm a sex therapist, a sex educator, everything about sex. You can call me the cum bringer.
You think you call me the cum bringer? Oh, bring and come.
Mm-hmm. Bringer. I bring the cum.
No, so say that's in bring and come.
Oh. This man.
Interesting. He says you can call her the cum bringer. Sorry that we had to laugh because it's Sharon.
That's what I bring: laughter, joy, happiness, and a lot of orgasms.
Sharon. Sharon won't bust my head. Okay, yes. We throw the mic to...
Yes, my name is Yom, digital marketer, social media influencer. Yeah, so that's it.
You don't have to say your real name so they don't go catch you for road bus.
My name is Yomi, Abayomi, basically.
Is that there? So the famous Yom that you must have seen one or two tweets from is right here. And yes, we're talking about penetration.
Okay.
Starting with Sharon, I feel like there are a lot of things that people don't know about sex, yeah.
So many.
Especially in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody we won't go become gynecologists again simply because we don't know about sex. So, but like, me, I just feel like, and I don't know, I've wanted to have that type of conversation with somebody. Not just someone who's an expert, but somebody who's also your guy. So that way, you know, like, there are really, really no holds barred, I guess. Yeah. For how the TikToker. Anyways, how does that work? Like, because I guess a lot of people just know that, okay, sex is a normal thing. Well, penetration is a normal thing.
We have a lot of misconceptions, like you said, about sex. A lot of people think sex is just penetration. Now, we're talking about penetration, but sex goes way beyond penetration. You know, for like the woman, she can have different kinds of orgasms. So you have the vaginal orgasm, which comes from penetration, and you have the clitoral one. You have the other one that comes from the original.
What does the clitoral one comes from?
From the clitoris. So you can explore, as a woman, you can have like 3 types of orgasms. That's the beauty of our body. But because we are so used to this penetration, we think that's the only way a woman can come. Touch her clitoris and she can come. You can give a woman orgasms by just kissing her. If she's the kind of lady that comes from the erogenous zones, it can be the neck. You know, where our body is so beautiful that you just need to explore. You know, the best way to really enjoy a woman's body or really know what she's about sexually is start from kissing her from the head down to the feet. So if you can kiss every spot in her body.
I'm sorry. You know I'm sorry. Because I'm like, you go over. So you're like, from here.
It didn't work. No, it didn't work.
That's it.
Move towards the neck. Okay, beat.
No, it didn't work. No. By that idea,
frustrated.
You don't need knee. So you were saying kiss her from her head to her toe.
I mean, like, yeah, Now you made it sound so bad. It sounds awkward. I'm thinking about it, but I mean, okay, let's do this. You have sex with a lady twice. Do head to the waist for the first day.
But isn't that too much work?
No, now. So when I say kiss her from it doesn't mean that you have to go like that, right?
I don't kiss before I do not happen. What should I do? Kiss it's okay, I'll come back.
You know? But you get the concept of what I'm trying to say, right?
Of course.
There are parts of the body that you may not even know that triggers her. For the feet, a lot of people like their feet to be touched, but we don't touch the feet. Many people are touching the feet during sex.
With your feet,
you have to wash it. I know where you're going. Hygiene.
Again, wait till you do it best with your feet dirty. So now shit on the shelf.
Wash your whole body. We cannot overemphasize on that, right? So you know, people need to understand that penetration is just one part of sex. There's so many other things.
For women, basically.
For men and women. But because you're the one penetrating, because you have the stick, the rod, and the staff.
God damn.
The rod, son.
Because you're the one doing the penetration, it feels like that's the only thing. No, there's so many things you need to do to make it right. So penetration is going in and out of the vagina or the anus, as we may say. There are two holes, yes. Those are...
See, personally.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know.
But let me shock you. Let me say something that, funny enough, I've said this once, and when I said it, everybody's like, do you know there's something in the anus? Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
There is something there.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, the first part is painful. Like, it's just like, it's the same process as this virgin in a girl, right?
No.
No, I'm just saying, it's almost
like the
it's
initial
almost like
pain,
the initial
right?
pain is there. But if the person is well lubed, oh my God.
Sharon said well lubed. Say, Sharon, I'm sorry. I don't know how to be fake. It's not like I don't believe in all these things that is being said. I know Sharon knows. Let me just make that clear. It's just that it's funny to me.
It's understandable.
It's funny to me because, okay, maybe I dare interject from here. But let me let you finish. No.
I mean, what you're saying, I totally understand. Because the good thing about my job is you understand everybody.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors that make it look like it's not right. Sometimes cultural, religious, psychological. There are so many factors that, just make you think, oh, this is somehow. But if you take out all of that, and it's just like you've come bare. You don't know any of those factors, and it's normal. You need to give it a try, or you begin to see from a different perspective. And that's what the beauty of my job. It just opens you to a lot of possibilities, there's so many things you hear as a sex therapist that if you do this my job one day, that means you go weak, or your body go weak, because there's so many things you hear and you get to see on a daily basis. Yeah. So from what I've gotten to understand, there is something in the anus. Something that, let's just leave it at the fact that we don't know. But there's something that I'm beginning to think that is probably the fact that, I don't know, I need to know that now from a doctor or from the biological part of the body or anatomy of the body, that there's probably a part, let's say this is the anus and this is the vagina, right? I feel like maybe from here it bounces back to the G-spot. I'm not sure yet, but I feel like maybe it bounces back to the G-spot and it hits the G-spot. For some ladies, better than the vaginal penetration, especially if the lady has her G-spot deep inside. And unfortunately, you're not a guy who has a long staff. You're just probably a little man somewhere.
No, small business they do.
Yeah, maybe one man business. Yeah, just small thing. So I'm thinking that's what it is, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, as I go further, I'm going to do the research on that. But I know I can tell you that from people who have experienced it, when they take out the pain, they personally, in fact, more people have said that they had more orgasms from anal sex. I think that's why we have people who love it.
Okay, it's interesting you say that, because the only way that I may find, because I believe in whatever you've learned. Is it true to your spirit, right? So I'm not discriminatory. I don't have time. I don't have mental time for that. I just try to make sense of it. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so if the human body is what the human body truly is, right? There must be a way that God must have created you to, say, to help you go through certain things that the human body must do. So if one of them is that you have to go to the toilet, for example, if it's going to be uncomfortable, the human body definitely has a mechanism to make that easy. So I feel like people who practice anal sex are most likely just taking advantage of the fact that nature has created
another hole.
Just a whole, like, it has created a system that for it to function, there has to be some form of pleasure.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like, for the function to be smooth, he has to have some form of hedonistic value in the arguments. Like, it has to be. Imagine all the time you chop like. Okay, so just picture a person who chop like bread, chop beans and curry with bread and yam.
It's going to be hard, yeah.
If the human body has not been devised in such a way whereby that particular act of unblocking the stomach, right, or unblocking the system is slightly
I get your point. Like it can just happen
you get what
somehow.
I mean? So as they go give them that strong shit now, your body has to make it have some form of pleasing feeling, so that it's not, oh my God, pain, like labor pain.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You get what I mean?
Pain level is lower than.
Yeah, but it has, because you do that every day. You pass out excreta every other time. So in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe people are taking advantage of that sensation. I'm not interested in that sensation, because the one with me I don't taste. If not the forbidden fruit, now that will be original.
Okay.
You see that fruit? Odun, Ushamo, like that one, but it's not from my own understanding. So I can hear how you'd say that. You know, some people like that. They say they get multiple orgasms from stuff, but my question to penetration.
Well, again, there's something I always say. Now I'm going to stand for. I like how we're having this conversation. So it's from two different sides. So it makes it quite interesting. So I'm going to stand for the other side, or the other team B. You're says you're team A, so I'm team B. So team B, I'm saying now.
Ironically, B is for butt.
B is for ball, B is for butt, B is for breast.
So I'm like, where are we now?
So I'm going to say, but you don't know how it feels. You've not had it.
How what feels?
Anal sex.
But you know, say guess what? I've not.
I don't know. Yeah, so
I've not. But I feel like
it's just like saying.
Sometimes I don't try shit. Some kind of shit. Maybe say I know. Say I do not want to go through this again. So I'm now not sure. Not I'm not sure. I am very sure that you see that thing. You know, I don't want to do it again. Like it's a later based on saying no. That one. It's I'm the most observant human being about myself. So whatever I go through, I try to internalize it and understand it. And from that understanding, I say, you know, say sometimes if you want to give the hard shit, maybe say you just struggle. And some people say they all rub okra.
Oh my God.
So that one
how
they get
vibe. From penetration to nasty.
Oh, penetration is nasty. Like what? See, so I don't mean to say this, but I have conversations with people who are of different sexual orientation, for example. And I say to them, if it's okay for you to have a different idea and understanding about sex, it's okay for me to have my different opinion and stance about it, as long as I'm not judgmental towards you.
Of course.
Or I'm not hurting you in any way, shape, or form, even in arguments. Like I'm just, excuse me, I'm just honestly expressing yourself.
You.
The same way you're just honestly expressing yourself.
Yeah.
So in my head, I can see that, okay, I will never know the anal sex idea because it's not what I subscribe to. Now, do I understand how some people may be taking advantage of, i.e., that it has to come with some form of pleasure to go out. If not, you could imagine say, the sweet say the shit and the hard. Bro, you'll be in pain now.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
if it wasn't lubed, and I think that's all that is for that sensation. I get like that's what it is, but I don't know. Maybe I have a different experience.
No, that's fine. I like the fact that, like you said, is the truth. Yeah. The fact that you're not judgmental. The fact that everybody has the right to their opinions. Everybody has the right to how they feel, how they understand something. So we are not hurting anybody. We're having live conversations. You can be on any team. You can be on any part and agree. So we just agree to disagree, right?
Yeah.
So,
So I actually want to take what you said from the very scratch, right? So you started off talking about women and orgasm. So I hear people say not all women orgasm. So I'd like to ask you, is that true? Like regardless of be it penile, penetration, be it cunnilingus, be it anyone. Is it true that some women just don't come?
I'll say like maybe 1% will never
1%?
orgasm. 1 or 2% will never orgasm their whole life. Now I'm going to say this. So for a lady who has been circumcised, her clitoris, which most women tend to have clitoral orgasms because the clitoris has so many nerve endings, and the clitoris is the only place in a woman's body that is said to give the highest form of pleasure.
Yeah.
So, because it's the place that we say, okay, that's the fountain of orgasm, it's been taken off, right, during female genital mutilation. Please, the people that do that, you need to stop it.
They still do.
Yes, they still do it. It's so barbaric and it's crazy. Like, you need to stop denying people of the pleasure they have in front of them.
The pleasure we born, I think, born them.
They're full of confidence.
Yeah. So, I'll say maybe like 1%. But for people like that who fall in this category, they can try other means. We talked about penetration, vaginal penetration, orgasm. We talked about that kind of orgasm. We also talked about from the other erogenous zones. Now, you need to tap into the inner chakra. Oh, I feel so serious. You need to tap into. Now, first thing we need to know is you can't have orgasms when you're not relaxed. It's easier for you guys. Everything is outside. For us, it's internal. It's just like, imagine that your ear, somewhere inside your ear, scratching
the glory is internal.
Well, but
the glory of our outside.
It's internal, but it's harder from us because you have to dig and search deeper. It's like looking for diamond. You have to go in, there's a lot of work. You need to, pass through some tests and all of that. But the best way to have a lady orgasm is get her mind to relax. Once a lady is relaxed mentally, physically, psychologically, and in every form, her mind is at rest, her body is at rest, it takes off 50% of the job. Right? But I agree with you, some people will never orgasm no matter what they do. And again, when they find out, sometimes too, it's also pressure, the pressure of wanting to orgasm, the pressure of wanting to sweat. I think that the major problem is sweating, this sweating of a thing. Everybody wants to sweat because I think you guys make it seem like people who sweat have a different level. Yeah.
The last time I checked, people that sweat they're usually ashamed.
So now that's why I want to say this. Because as much as they're ashamed because of the way the society has made it seem, they make it seem like sweating is pure urine. They make it feel like
okay, that should be a subtopic.
Yeah, so because they make it feel like it's pure urine, which girl wants to feel like during sex she peed on the bed?
But she know what it be now. She don't know what it.
No, many of them don't know. Even the guys that they don't know. A lot of people don't know what sweating is. So because they feel it's urine, it becomes, oh my God, I just peed on the bed. And you find out the girls want to hold back, exactly as you said.
Yeah. It's because somebody atole. Because if atole wasn't a concept, peeing on the bed wouldn't be a problem.
Of course not.
What's atole?
Atole now, we for bed.
Oh.
Let's bring up.
How are you, Shane?
They'll sing for you in school.
So, exactly. So, people already feel this is a problem. Why am I peeing? I couldn't hold myself that I had to pee during sex.
Ironically, you said this. I've come to realize that a lot of women, it be like say they okay, there's no way to say this, it's not going to sound, well, it's experiential. You tend to notice that a lot of women are insecure about whatever reasons they're insecure about. And that then becomes a problem when it comes to expressing, say, even in the sexual understanding of things. Because I want to believe that there's always something when you're relaxed, even the man, then after you boss, you must relax. There's something about relaxing and being in tune with the self. And ironically, a lot of women find it hard to, especially maybe, I guess again, you can argue that that's why they want real love. Because the level of freedom that maybe a woman wants to give a man to the point where she might squirt or do whatever it is
sometimes
that is
it's not even
proud
just
to be done.
love.
I said that's why maybe so so I'm not holistically saying anything is true. I'm just saying like I've noticed that with women, like woman go off clothes finish.
Her stomach is a problem.
You go come put one for belly. You gotta look and say you're naked. Your clothes covered the belly before.
You're one of the good people. That's why you're sounding this way. A lot of ladies meet bad guys.
Hey, wait first now. That's say if good woman meet bad guy, at least you go know where he be. So you yourself, when you came in, the clothes where you wear covered the belly. You cut off the clothes. Cut the think.
So if you just leave your clothes on,
bro, like you were just like. So that's what I'm saying. It's not even about your self-esteem. This case, sometimes it's just logic. Like it's simple. Like according to somebody said, I'm a toast naked woman now. You might say, "Yeah, I'm a day naked." You can say, "Hi, I'm Larry," and you are. Oh, so what do you do? Bruh, you both of you are naked. It doesn't make sense. So you sense over time that a bunch of women, even when they speak, they don't let go themselves. Because I don't think orgasm should be it's a human process. It's a human characteristic, at least. At least we are sure that it's a human thing to do. So maybe people need to get more in tune with humanity as a whole and just accept yourself. Because once you accept yourself...
You've said it all. Accepting yourself is key. I think the women who tend to enjoy sex, the word enjoy as it may be in real life.
Ride the bull.
They love their body, like they don't care if their stomach is sagging and sweeping the floor. We'll raise it up and we'll enter.
You don't even understand. Let's go deeper into this conversation. It's not even about whether your stomach is sagging. It is, because that's what you are. But, bruh, it is that. Only Michelle Backbenny and it's time. Like, you don't offer your clothes.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You want the shape? You offer all cloth to the shame. Like, what was the purpose behind the offering of the cloth?
Different things happen.
I'm
during
saying,
that
like,
process.
yes, you're taking responsibility. But if you know, this case is not about anybody making you do anything.
Okay.
It's about you holistically, by yourself, as a human being, deciding that
you want to do this.
The meaning of this feeling I feel right now is that I want to knock this guy. So let me offer my clothes and not be ashamed of my belly. Like, I feel like it gets to the point whereby maybe people, not just women, but I barely see it. By way of clothes, you know it. Usually. Really, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, because it may be a serious thing. But speaking of that, do you think men get insensitive too?
During knacks? Or generally?
Well,
because really, if we have to break it down fully, there are different types of knacks. Like, you could probably, maybe it's the type of knacks where you just want to knack to get something from the guy. Or if it's the type of knacks where you actually want it, you guys are in a relationship, you really
are you justifying that?
So what he's saying,
of course not.
What he's saying will branch out, because like most times what the knack has to mean plays a role sometimes in how the guy or how the girl may perceive it, or how the guy may or the girl may give it.
Please permit me to play devil's advocate or ignorance here.
Okay.
What then is the purpose of knacks?
So knack is supposed to give you pleasure. As far as I'm concerned, pleasure and orgasm. Now, not even every time you have sex, you actually want to orgasm. There are sometimes you have sex, you didn't orgasm, but you enjoy the sex.
Yeah, true.
So it's not every time that you say you must get to the end. So yes, that plays a role, but even at that, I'm still of the opinion that guys, because I hear this a lot from ladies, they pulled out their clothes, they've taken off their clothes, they've done everything, they're ready, and the guy's like, your breast is not standing. In the IG picture, they stand down.
Wait,
it happens.
Wait, today, what's today's date? Whatever today's date is.
Yeah.
You are telling me on the date that it is that there are guys that.
Yes.
After you offload, you tell you say,
No, they probably won't say it outrightly. What they will
say it
insinuate
out.
No.
See, first of all,
say it out.
First of all, I blame the women, Sha, because
why?
you supposed to know, say that kind of idiot day.
No, we can't blame
Sometimes
the women.
they don't know.
It's a natural something.
No. There is no way you will not know a man
So
that can tell you your breast is flat too.
So let me tell you something now. Let me mix what you're saying. So let me mix what you're saying. Mixing what you're saying and what Yum Yum is saying. So let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
So I'm a hot girl on Instagram.
Yes, you are.
Package,
Yeah. You know, and then my breast is strangling me every time on
like
IG.
Yeah,
it's collar level.
Yes, no.
Collar, you know. And then and then I now come and I remove it. Now the thing is almost on the floor.
Yeah.
And now I'm coming to you for money, and you're coming to me because of exactly. And you're like, what I ordered versus what I got. Mm-hmm. So there's some of them that just are blunt like that. Yeah. Just say out. And that can actually, you know, ruin the girl's ego. Once you say that kind of thing to a girl, her pussy will be dry like a desert.
But the one that's coming for strictly transaction, you're not supposed to send nah.
That's another angle. So now they don't send, but they don't give you the same frequency or the same juice. You will not get the same level of juice. You won't tap into the...
I mean, it will
fill the cup.
So I guess the conversation of filling the cup, when it comes to business, I feel like some people just have it. Some people know.
Okay.
Like some men just know. And for me, the reason why I asked you what the major reason for sex was, if it's for pleasure, it's like, I get that people do it. I don't judge that people do it, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like, am I judging anybody? No. Like, have I had experience with a bunch of, oh, hell yeah. But the fact that I engage it, or I've engaged it rather, doesn't mean it's right. I mean, as a concept, no, not in my own doing me, I'm just doing me. But it defeats the purpose. The side of hustling with sex defeats the purpose of, say, deep penetration and orgasmic feelings. It defeats it. Even though you get woman maybe say, excuse me, you get woman maybe say, no matter how much she is very paid, you get the way you will feel, man. Some people just have that energy. Like, at a point, I found out somebody's soft spot. When you said kiss from head to toe, I was laughing because I feel like the easiest way to say to men who don't know how to read in between the lines, especially even if the line is booty, is you have to take your time and observe the being in front of you. Like, you have to take your time and, you know, play.
Understand.
There's something about spiritual connect and how you move that you now discover certain things on the person that you're having a great time with that you would never have known if the person didn't tell you. Mm-hmm. Like there's a point I discovered that the soft bite here was what it did, was what did it. Just a soft bite here. The time I discovered, I'm like, who would have thought?
So everybody, that's the beauty of women. We're just like I'm for the ladies all the time.
Team
so every
B,
time
right?
I always come hard for my
God damn.
Ooh, that's
Anene in the building. Yeah. She's always
right for my women, because we're on the lower part of the receiving, you know, we don't receive all the time. I feel like we give so much, and most of the time, these guys don't take their time to give back.
That's true.
You know,
to the society.
As much as we say, there are some people who say everybody should walk out their cum. So we're having sex. So why don't you want to have orgasms while I'm having orgasms? But I think everybody should have the mentality of, I'm having sex for you to come and for me to come. So it works both ways. If you have that mentality, I have the not you. They have
No. When you talk, say I'm having sex for me to come and for you to come. I was like, I think we're just having sex because we're having sex. Because you also said earlier that sometimes you just don't want to come, you just want to just feel the moment. I feel like it be like guys that they smoke.
Okay.
That they smoke, like say that they compete. So I mean, I did drag on. Oh, she drag on. Like, me, I did drag on. If you smoke, or there, isn't it for fun? Aren't you having fun with it? Which one? So you're trying to validate your dragging. Yeah, but you be drag. I was trying that last song. Said everything is cool. All right, let's go. Right? There are people who do that like it's competitive, but it's really not that. Like it's just whether you've known each other for long, whether you've met, like there's lust or there's love, right? It's just human expression going, you know what? Let's see with this app. Let's see with this babe, right? When you decide to live life a certain type of way, that's fine. But most times it's just you are having sex because you're having sex.
Okay.
Like I feel like that's the ultimate way that you should say it, like you're having sex because you're having sex. So that way, because man self thinking to please woman to make sure say I want to come, you want to come, that your mind has now left the process.
But you're not thinking about it during the process. This is just a mentality that you have.
You know, like
way before.
You know, be man, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I kid you not. Sometimes I won't believe it. Many men, right? You know when you get excited and you just give them like the quickie. Your mind go to cut here, go to bed.
Okay, go.
Say, girl, that's how I come. No.
Really?
Bruh, sometimes greed. Any man in this life.
Greed, pump greed.
Yes, now. Say, this is the sweet no. Say, and second, the ego of the man say, me no go believe
2 minutes or 2
because the human
seconds,
body gets excited. For example, like new partner is
New,
my
like
God,
first time,
red alert, everywhere, testosterone.
But that's even the thing. So there are a lot of mentalities that we need to change when it comes to sex. So this idea of the man lasted 2 minutes and you as a woman shaming him shouldn't be done. Because like you said, it may not be that the guy doesn't last. Yes, I mean, when it happens for like 66 times, then we know that's okay. Go and see a doctor.
Yeah, true.
I also learned something.
But you talked about being relaxed, like it works for ladies. Do you think it works for guys too? Like if you are relaxed, like the more relaxed you are, you tend to last longer.
For me,
for guys, do you think?
I feel like yes, but women have destroyed our lives.
How?
Well, my dad say repeat.
Okay, yeah, true. That was FD.
My other cousin,
like
babe, don't tell her. We say. Then I say, bite it now.
That's what she likes.
Say bite it, huh?
Someone is confused.
Girl, don't tell my guy. Say fuck me now, be your sister.
During the life process.
My guy for Greg's.
Wow.
Fuck me now, be your sister.
He must have been going really gently,
Right, see, so sometimes a man being calm doesn't work for the woman. Say, I didn't mean it. Right, yes.
Oh my God. So it depends on. So that's the first step of sex.
No, but I said that to say. I also realized that sometimes, like I said earlier, it takes a man to just. You have to treat it like. Okay, this is a task.
Okay.
Like, okay, so you're a woman tonight. Let's
go collect.
Or to whatever time.
Go collect.
Yes, now. And according to, in the words of legendary J.J. Okocha, that's why a coach must have his own plans and focus on his own plans.
Yeah.
So, yourself, when you date with two men and you're trying to share your expression, like your deepest sensuality together, say intercourse, it's your duty as well to make sure that you're having fun. When you are having fun, don't worry, the other person will have fun.
also good to once in a while just say some nice things.
Titi don't like this for like saying, no, Brad, don't worry. When you are having fun, see, I want to believe
nice
that it is the joy of a woman that the man on top of her is having the time of his life.
With him saying
that one alone,
yeah, it gives her some form of confidence. I agree.
Thank you.
That. It gives her some form of confidence. She feels like, oh, okay, I have a good pussy.
So now we can do it like this. Yeah, take it more. Yes, and good. So I feel like that's.
But it's for some ladies, it doesn't work without words of affirmation. So while you're enjoying it, you need to still tell her, "I am enjoying it," because sometimes they think it's out of selfishness.
So now it's you and your woman.
Communication comes in.
With your mom asking me if I feel like men must be calm and relaxed. First of all, it's pussy.
How'd you, man?
It's pussy. It is. Pussy.
It's not for that man's.
It's not for that man's or swords, or it's not aeronautic physics. It's a human. It's not a machine that was created from electronic companies. It's a human. Like, yes, you may get excited from starvation, but I guess once a man is like, and that's what also then now not make you a fuckboy. Rather, like, you are not a fuckboy when you're calm by yourself. I guess what makes you a man is when you're in control of yourself, even when you feel the most tempting. You're not perfect, so sometimes you go lose guard, but it makes you more of a man when in more times than often you can record yourself out. Yes, self-control. So even when the woman is naked, because again, you can't learn say sometimes woman go naked, you can't change your mind. So as a man, you must always be ready to be in control, just in case, even though you argue against it out there, that she fuck up because it's not like she has already aroused him and blah blah. Even though you have that argument, but you see the end point of forcing that argument is problem for you as a man.
Yeah,
true.
So when you're relaxed, right, even when you're going to get it, how much more when you're not going to get it? So I feel like a man must always be relaxed. Like, even when you misfire, speak calm, get right back at it. Like, yes, that is allowed.
Yeah,
it's allowed for you to, rush desires and be like, buffet.
But see, I look at it from another point of view too. If it's not a guy who, like I said, after 66 times needs to go to the doctor. If a guy meets you for the first time, or you meet someone for the first time, and he lasts 2 minutes, girl, you have diamond there. He couldn't stay. As in, you know what you're carrying.
I don't think most girls say it that way.
That's how I see it. I feel like it was so good that you couldn't. You couldn't
like social media, they inform plenty people opinion. So now waiting they don't hear. Now that they replicate for their thoughts every other time. Like, it's almost as though he must be a bad guy. And some babes just like a decent short minutes. Like,
yes,
I learned that. I mean,
some people don't want you to stay hours.
True.
Just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they're okay.
Yeah, but
and
the problem with me, people
doing.
like me, and I say, if I can't like that kind of person, where they not lie, they lie.
Because some days it will extend. Extension.
Yeah, and so that's in my head. I'm like, you can't teach anybody how to be relaxed enough to enjoy something that they should be relaxed enjoying. Like, now you by yourself go look so, which is why it gets some women maybe say, no matter how much I try to relax, I just can't do anything because that's not my vibe. Right? Whether or not I get, so you have to learn to
attraction and other things.
Other anything goes is a lie. No. There's something that you know that if they leave it with them, no worry, you're going. And that's where I would come from with this. But ironically, penetration from that angle. Yum is seated here. Yum. I was going to ask you about what you thought real penetration was, say, with social media influencing.
Real penetration?
Yes.
With social media
influencing.
How? I don't get the question.
How do you penetrate? Like, what do you gauge penetration by, say, in the world of social media? Say, on Twitter, for example, now. Because, again, we have people who think that the same way they think idea of sex is just penetration and get out, right? Some people don't understand that there can also be genuine penetration that will make your target audience orgasm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, so when you put word out, when you do, like, because you self now, it means that you get sexual knowledge with your people.
Yeah, true.
Like you know how to make love to them. That's why they respond. That's why those impressions algorithmically come together. So, what do you think real penetration is in that sense as well?
With social media, real penetration would have to be you leading your narrative, as against just going with the hashtags. You just have to lead your narrative so people that think on the same level can actually come and hop along with whatever it is you're trying to push.
At least the compact is...
like minds.
Of course, definitely.
Like minds will obviously align, So it even works sexually,
That's why I said the compact. They will know.
Yes. But I was going to ask a question as regards sex, still, penetration, rather.
Yes.
Do you think sex is spiritual? I'm coming to you as well.
Ooh, so you're saying in light of spirits, like if you have sex with 66 people, you've taken 66 spirits.
All those type of
Ooh, that's a very deep question. I tend to, as much as possible, not relate sex with spirituality. I tend to not, because of the kind of job I'm doing, I have different kinds of clients. But if I'm going to use my personal stuff, I'm not the kind of person that my personal life. Let me be completing my sentences. So my personal life, I vibe seriously on energy. And energy, to some extent, can be spiritual. So, there's some people that no matter what you do, we are not going to be friends. Okay. Don't push it too hard.
That one do.
If you like, pour me money head to toe. I no go shake. Self-control, energy, a lot of things come into that. So because I have that kind of mentality, it's difficult for me to just have sex anyhow. Let me use the word anyhow. It takes a lot. Like there has to be attraction, there has to be mental energy, there has to be physical energy, biological. There's something I put out recently. I said, if you get to the room or your guy gets to the room and your pussy is not already clapping, like you just see the guy and it's not already, you don't already feel a certain way.
Just make it clap.
Change your man. Like get another guy, So all of that will come. So to some extent, I don't want to say yes fully, but I won't just have sex with any and everybody because I want to explore who is good, or I want to increase my sex life, or I want to, for whatever reasons, because the energy, there are some people that you have sex with and you tell yourself, never again. Like never.
So you're carrying that never again spirit.
No, there are some people that you just ask yourself, waiting carry you come for this place.
Waiting carry you come.
Waiting,
so you come.
No. This call, why they use that? So that's how I see it.
Okay.
But use your pussy, use your dick. It's all yours.
Wow, that does not answer your question.
Use it how you like, but protect
you
yourself. Because there are a lot of things out there. If you go to the hospitals, if you speak with doctors, if you have any doctor friend or family member, and they tell you how they see beautiful girls and dope-looking guys with different forms of sicknesses, different sexual illnesses, that it doesn't show. That's they show for face. They show for face, and it's not only HIV. There's hepatitis B.
There's politics.
There's plenty.
There's so many. So you see somebody says malaria, he don't get herpes, so you can't go now. I can't lick your
pussy. At least for feminists, can we have herpes be his piece?
Oh God. Wow.
Yes, because herpes is only for her, right? Oh. So she can say her piece and he can say his piece.
Then I'll tell you, I have malaria. He doesn't have malaria, run.
Yeah, I'd like to know what you feel about that, because there's a sub-question to this as well.
I think a lot of things are spiritual. Sex is not left out of it. So yes, I think it's spiritual because the pleasure or the feeling of the pleasure that comes from sex is not a tangible one, even though it is tangible. It's not a concrete one. Like you cannot describe what orgasm is. And if man is not just a mix of. If man is just not a mix of emotions, like or a mix of things, just anything that exists, that even during sex, whilst you're having that, there is an existing thing that is happening. Like something is happening, but it's not physical. Yeah, whatever your penetration is doing, or the back and forth, the thrusts and the build of the organs that are doing that, it is creating something that out of the blue is sending a signal to your body to produce sperm, for example. Mm-hmm. That's on the level is spiritual, because it's not physical, is it? Even though it's a physical act. So I can see it from that angle.
Okay. That's another interesting angle.
Okay. But this angle that I'm seeing it from lets you be in control. Because there are other things that I've experienced that has almost written into your consciousness or your spirit, but you didn't allow it. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's spiritual, but it's spiritual as you are observing it. Because every time you do it, it does the same spiritual thing.
Okay.
Feeling.
So that whole thing they say where maybe after having something with somebody, you tend to start having bad luck. Do you believe in that?
See,
I'm sure everybody must have.
I was born into that belief. Until later, I kind of look say, I want Jay-Z she pararas,
What does that mean?
Them Jay-Z, them Jay-Z flex where them PDD flex where Snoop Dogg, he get blue film. You get yes, he gets Snoop Doggy style. Yeah. I remember the name. He did the crippin', bitches tripping and dripping. He was right there.
Wow.
For me. But if you can't check Abigail, thank God for social media, we can't realize say even office men that said they represent God.
Yeah, they clap chicks.
They're the clap chicks, and they get a round of applause from afterwards too.
Of course.
Like, they stop their business. So in my head, maybe...
Does it really happen?
Yeah, although that can also be true. In that the spirit of a person is responsible for the actions of that person.
Okay.
Let me say it clearly. The thoughts in a man's mind is what governs his actions. So if you get baby mama will be problem. You have encountered spirit that is stressful. Because the ultimate goal of human being is to live, not to worry. Is to exist. So yeah.
I'll kind of agree with him. I mean, exactly where you are on the same mentality, and it now brings me to what I was saying about energy. So it's the same thing, just in different words. Yeah. If the energy is stressful.
But that can also be your own punishment anyway.
Yeah, stressful.
Okay, but this is another angle here. So if you're claiming you naturally you get good luck, right? Then you get to knock a babe, insinuating she has bad luck and she was going to give you bad luck or something. So I'm saying, if you don't claim, say you get good luck for your own lane,
why the bad luck display?
Why can't your own good luck outshine hers as against hers?
So I also feel it's also part of what you believe in, or like belief. So me, I don't believe that. I know there are bad people. I know there are bad things. I know there are spiritual things. I believe that spiritual things happen. But I have the mentality that waiting me I carry Bible. Let me go biblical.
What is in you is greater than what is in the world.
So I feel like.
But that's what same goes to the person.
Now, so which then debunks the argument from how they say ab initio, like initially debunks the argument, because if he that is in every one of God's creation is greater than he that is in the world, then it just means that both of you are just lambing each other. What you did was have sex and move on, because there are people that have had sex and never seen together and their businesses flourish. What about those arguments? However, you can meet somebody that you have sex with, deep. If he born picking for you, and just simple conversation will just frustrate you. And you're there like, why am okay?
Stressful, like People need to learn how to have conversations.
There can be disturbance of your spirit. It might not be. So it's yes and no. It depends on what. I call this black magic based on belief.
Based on belief, actually.
Yes. Yeah. So, we're rounding off this conversation about penetration. I hope this penetrated.
And they were able to come.
Come to terms with facts.
Yeah, you know.
Because Sharon says, did you masturbate to that video? Me too.
But some will actually, let me shock you. One or two people go do them. Might shock you. See,
I
mean,
some people they crazy. Some people just say, okay, you know, some people go just say some people. So
this particular
as they talk, say
you when they
as they talk, say we need to do something. A big Snoop Dogg. They'll say yes, Snoop Dogg. They come they do.
Yeah, I understand. In my head, I just picture somebody a girl with her legs over like that. But in conclusion, well, I've always wanted to create an avenue whereby we could have like penetrating conversations, whether by direct penetration based sexually or I've always wanted to have conversations that penetrate thoughts, whether about penetration, whether about penetration as in sexual, or whether about penetration as in just like determining what you want to do. It's always a good thing for us to use our own knowledge as of today to define ourselves as of today. If tomorrow's knowledge comes, let that define tomorrow. But as of today, let's use our knowledge to define ourselves. And what then is human beings without sex? What's being human without influence? So shout outs to our sex therapist that came on today. I know I asked you why you go because sex therapy. So is it that one bowler bust your head?
Yeah.
Or one bowler disappoints you say,
It's for me, none of the above. Shockingly, none of that. So here's the thing for me. You know my story now. You're one of the early people who actually know my real story. So I was raped and I never liked sex. I hated sex. Like when I mean hated, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like just hurry up and calm down. You know, it was always like that for me. Maybe I'll just try to make one or two efforts, but it was a stressful process.
He stained the idea of sex for you. So technically, I guess that's what it means when you rape a woman. You still
the trauma,
have joy. Like you still, because the feeling of sex is second to none. And for you to have taken that forcefully from, I guess that's why.
And remember, the body is not relaxed at that point.
The
body is already stressed and tensed. There's no rape case that is worse than the other. Because rape is rape. And
there's no way rapists enjoy sex. They may enjoy come, but there's no way they enjoy sex because I feel like
I don't think they do.
I feel like it's another vibe when a woman is not saying it, but she's telling you, take all of me now. Like that one, nothing for this life. If you beat them.
That's like so. I feel like you even mentioned it earlier. If you maybe the fact that you started and somehow she just says no.
Yeah.
You cannot tell yourself it's okay. It's a problem.
It go pay you.
But if you continue at that point,
jail time go pay you more. Right? The life of a man.
Because of that, I had like I didn't like it. But somehow, I found out that I liked the idea of sex. And I was good at talking to people about sex. So, in 2013 or 2014... So you're better with your mouth. This man... That was a nice one.
So when it came to sex,
I'm actually better with my mouth. Okay.
God damn.
Moving on. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So because of that, I found I was better talking to people, telling people what to do, and they'll come back and say, this thing worked though, Then during COVID, I had this my secondary school group. I went to a female secondary school, so we're all girls. Like almost 200 and something of us. And I started having a lot of conversations.
Does anyone advertise sex toys?
No, actually. No. If anybody would, probably me. And
the big deal.
The fact that COVID happened, a lot of people took in, but with also some...
Took in what?
Took in belly.
Okay, so the punch
well. But I also had one logic I taught people, how the easiest way to ride for women riding 101, the easiest way to stay on top is spell the word coconut. So stay, even if you don't, I mean, like, for people who don't know what direction to move. Right. So you just stay and try to do C, do O. By the time you do all those alphabets, by the time you maybe day for O, Baba go shakom. You know, if you read...
So you take them how to make Baba come?
Like I was going to ask.
Which alphabet women got right made them come down?
Thank you.
Wonder Woman.
Like Yum.
Yes. No, Wonder Woman just W.
See, I feel so... So I'm of the opinion that... You know, he said something too, that when women see that the guy is enjoying what you're doing, or the guy is having some form of fun, exactly.
Oh, yeah?
So if a woman, and if women tend to, you know,
by Jenny, boss, you accept it.
Okay.
You were by Jenny is a character of a sports child. So, you know, he was mourning, so I was happy. You're supposed to using his thing to be getting happy.
You don't understand.
Okay, so at the end of the day, because of that, I just decided to, you know, give it a try. Something new. I know I'm always moving from one thing to the other. So as I moved there, but this is the last bus stop. So that, oh my God, girl, you're good. See,
one thing led to another thing. Bada boom, bada bing.
And I'm having fun with it.
Okay, so guys, this will be the conclusion from today. I hope you penetrate every idea of anything that you want to do, be it sexually. Because too many people, I feel like too many people are over patronizing the ideas of, say, maybe sex, or because it's human character. It must be simple. It goes to people that rap into are trying to force themselves to rap. Yes, now, like, it guys they easy now. Which episode you want the force? Like, yeah, it guys they easy. Whatever it is, like, it has to have penetrative value. And Sharon today has helped, at least with a lot of people, to understand that but the keyest thing for me there is, like, everybody needs to learn to relax. If you are not going to be relaxed having sex with the person, what are you doing having sex with the person? That's his sex. What are you doing having sex with the person? Like, if you're not going to be relaxed with a person, what are you doing in bed with that person? I guess that's one thing I would take home from that conversation with Sharon and with Yum Yum. Penetrative influence is based on just leading your narrative. That's an interesting thing, because we always have that conversation about how you must lead your narrative. It may not be the popular narrative, but you must lead it regardless, because finally now for AFCON, nobody thinks say Super Eagles go really, really do it until then do.